I felt to make this video for my brothers who deal with depression, and maybe you don't want to get out of bed in the morning, or you don't want to go to your job. Maybe you distract yourself with pleasure, with video games, TV, porn, masturbation, all of these things just to feel good and get away from that feeling of depression, that feeling inside of you that you don't want to feel. I know a lot of men deal with this, and today I want to hopefully help you see the light at the end of the tunnel. And that's why I want to talk about purpose, because it's so important that we have a purpose. If you don't have a purpose in this world, if you feel like you don't have a purpose, then life can feel like it's not worth living. And I wouldn't wish that upon anyone, because I've been there before. And I can tell you that when you feel like you have a purpose, life is much better. So I want to tell you how you can discover your purpose. And that is by taking some time to go within yourself and disconnect from everything outside of you for a certain period of time. Now, how do you disconnect from everything outside of you and go within yourself? Well, it requires a certain level of discipline. And one of the tools, practices that I give people, and I often make videos about, is semen retention. If you're distracting yourself with porn and ejaculating and wasting your energy, then you're not going to be able to, one, discover your purpose, and two, live in it and be able to maintain that. So it's super important that you practice semen retention and you seek to discover what your purpose is in this life. Because if you don't know what it is, it's likely because you haven't taken the time to disconnect from all of the external stimuli that's constantly keeping your mind going and begin to connect back within yourself. What's going on? This can also be done through meditation, prayer, fasting. That's a great one. I would definitely recommend that you fast, because when you fast, you're not going to have the energy to indulge in those destructive habits. Because when you fast, your body, you begin to, we got some company coming up here. When you fast, your body loses energy. Your mind gains energy, but your body loses energy. So you're not going to be able to, or not even going to want to indulge in like porn and masturbation, because you're not going to have any energy in your body. And that's going to allow you to sit with yourself. And again, it requires discipline, because you're going to want to eat, and you're going to have strong, very, very strong desire for food. And to go back to your regular pattern of life, but obviously when you're fasting, you're not eating, so you have to have that self-discipline. And with self-discipline comes a stronger willpower. And with stronger willpower gives you the strength to not give in to every fleshly desire that arises within you. And that's the thing. See, if we want to live in our purpose, if we want to be powerful, if we want to help make a change in the world in some way, then we have to develop a certain level of self-control. And fasting can definitely help with that. It can definitely help with self-control. It's one of the most difficult disciplines that there is. That's why Jesus fasted. That's why Jesus gave us the practice of fasting, abstaining from food, only drinking water for a certain amount of time. It can not only be beneficial to your physical health, but it can also be beneficial to your spiritual health. So another aspect to it is when you begin to abstain from porn, masturbation, orgasm, which I'm just going to call that PMO, when you begin to abstain from that and you begin to disconnect from other external stimuli like TV or video games or negative people, even music, you disconnect from all of this for a certain period of time, you will notice that your energy has to express itself in some way. And a lot of people will find themselves in sort of a dark place and not wanting to do anything, low energy, but you have to express that energy in some way or another. Some positive ways to express that energy will, of course, be working out, getting outside, getting some sunlight, journaling, art, whatever your creative activities are, do that instead of just trying to grab after that temporary pleasure that always leaves you feeling empty afterwards. We need something that's lasting, something that's not fleeting. And that's what's going to happen when you tap into your purpose. Because your purpose, let me kind of explain what it means to live in your purpose. When you're living in your purpose, you're living for others. You're living a life of service. When you're not living in your purpose, you're living a life of self-gratification. It's all about yourself. So there's quite a difference here, because when you're living a selfish life, when it's all about you, when you have the pleasures, when you have the feel-good sensations, then you feel good. But when you don't have the pleasures, when you don't have the feel-good sensations, then you feel bad. So on the other hand, when you're living a life of service, it's not all about you. Rather, whatever activities you're engaging in, where you're directing your energy, is usually towards helping others. You have speakers, you have pastors, you have motivational speakers, you have people like me, content creators, people who make videos. See, right now, I am indulging in a selfless act of making a video for someone else to hopefully help improve someone else's life. I'm not thinking about, oh, how can I feel good right now in this moment? I'm doing something completely selfless to help others. And this is a part of my purpose, my calling, and my mission. So when you discover what that is for you, your desire will no longer be just to gratify your senses, right? Sensual pleasures of the flesh. Rather, it will be to somehow add value to another person's life. When you live a life that revolves around adding value to someone else's life, naturally you feel fulfilled, you feel good. And you also don't have to indulge in all of those destructive habits that you were doing in the past, because you're now doing something that's fulfilling you and helping others. And this is what it's all about. Jesus said, freely ye have received, freely ye shall give. But in order to give, you kind of have to fill your cup first as well. So some of you might be wondering, okay, well, how am I supposed to help others? I can't even help myself right now. I know some people might be feeling that way. Well, that's where the disconnecting from the external world comes in, right? Maybe practice fasting. This is going to help you disconnect quickly, right? That's the quick way. Otherwise, you can just do it slowly, slowly disconnect from things. And the things that I would recommend disconnecting from are negative people. If you're hanging around negative people, if you're out running around smoking, drinking, partying, disconnect from that. Stop doing that. Stay home. Go on a walk. Go out to the beach. Go spend some time with yourself. Meditate. Pray. Journal. These are some things you can do. Exercise. Study, research, find something that you enjoy researching. I know me, I can spend hours and hours researching the Bible, researching spiritual cultures and traditions and practices, just trying to understand what this life is all about. Find something that you're interested in, research, study, direct your energy towards things that are productive, that are beneficial to your future, rather than detrimental to your future. This is a shift in thinking. This is a shift in being. Shifting from living a life that's all about you, which essentially a part of life is all about you. But when you deny yourself, as Jesus taught, or when you live a life of service for others, then you're naturally taken care of. Even in the business world. One of my favorite quotes from Jim Rohn, which he's one of the most well-known motivational speakers. He's passed away now. Rest in peace to Jim Rohn. He said, if you help enough other people get what they want in life, then you will have all that you want in your life. So you simply live a life of service to others, then your life will be taken care of as a result. So if you feel depressed and you feel like you don't know what your purpose is, and you want to discover what it is, and you want to stop playing out these same patterns over and over and over again, then in a nutshell, to sum it all up, I would say, take some time to disconnect from the external world and connect back within yourself. How do I do that, Chris? Well, I gave you some tips in this video, and I also want to mention one more thing. I am in the process of creating what's called the 40-day mental detox challenge. This is a challenge where you do exactly what I mentioned in this video, disconnect from external stimuli for 40 days, and I will ship you a notebook or a workbook, a journal, a high quality, hardcover leather, a vegan leather journal / workbook that has the whole 40-day challenge in it. It's full of questions that are going to help you design your future, develop faith that it's possible to create your life however you want it to be, and discover your purpose. That's not available yet, but it will be available soon, and I'll be revealing it on this channel when it is available. But for now, if you're new here, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know how this resonated with you. We have a whole bunch of noise going on. I think someone's got like a weed whacker or something up here, so it's time to go. And yeah, definitely leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video. Much peace and love.